watching this video, it is because you have this burning desire of starting your own business or taking control of your own destiny. The reason why I started my business was because of my challenges I was facing at the time. I was going through a divorce, and I was actually 4 months pregnant when I got separated from my now ex-husband. So I needed a way to provide for my girls. Well, at least my oldest at the time. I was still pregnant with my youngest. So I needed to find a way to create a sustainable living or create a career for myself. So, some people go into business either because they are seeking freedom or flexibility. My reason was all that. I was with a corporation. Those that know me, I worked with JCPenney for a while. And I applied with the company for a lead position twice. And twice I was promised the position, and twice I got shut down. And, it was a very disappointing time in my life, and it was a huge blow to my ego. But now I see it as a blessing in disguise, because I figure if I was gonna get a lead position at JCPenney, I won't be here in my own salon. So it was a blessing in disguise for me. Another reason why I feel like, to start your own business, you have to have passion for that business. You have to love that business. You have to really want to do something for either yourself or for the people that you're trying to serve. And I didn't think like that 10 years ago, or in 2006 when I opened my first business. I know a lot of you don't know that I had a salon before. I did. I had a salon called Two Studio Hair Designs. It was in Gardena. And I had just opened that business right out of beauty school. I did a booth rent for about 6 months, and then worked for Fantastic Sam's that was in Torres at the time for another 8 months. And at the time I was doing that and dancing at night. I was an exotic dancer. And while I was dancing, I met an older gentleman that ended up taking me, under his wings, and basically took care of all my needs. Everything that I needed was taken care of. I didn't have to stress about anything. So I remember seeing this salon for sale, and I told him, I said, I found a salon for sale, and if he could buy it for me. And he did. He bought it for me, and furnished it. Went all out, bought the most expensive stations and things like that. It was a really tiny salon, because he only had basically 4 stations. I think it was smaller than what I have now. And it was well put together. But then come to find out, it was wrong location, because I didn't do my due diligence by creating a plan. I just rushed into it because I have a license and I thought I was a stylist. So I had a salon, and 2 years in, I closed it down. For one, the economy took a turn. 2008, that was when the stock market came crashing for the housing. And then my friend ended up passing on. So I was left with a salon and no business sense whatsoever. So I ended up cutting my losses and I closed it down. later on, because this story can go on for a very long time, but later on down the line, you guys will definitely read it in a book, because I do plan on writing a book. Anyway, so I closed it down, and I ended up relocating here to Fontana because my mom was living out here. And when I came here, I ended up getting a job with Fantastic Sam's in Upland, worked for them. And while I was there, I enrolled myself at Chaffey College. While I was at Chaffey College, I started to think about getting into business, and if I wanted to, open a salon again. So this time around, I wanted to make sure I do it right. Not somebody buy me a salon or anything. This was my own money, my own hard work, my own everything. So, got married, brought it up to my ex-husband, told him I want to open a business. He wasn't having it. He's one of those people that have that mentality, like, no work, where you can create your own destiny, or take control of your own destiny. Anyway, so I decided, I guess that's why it didn't work out. It went his way. I went to school, got a scholarship for the entrepreneurship program at Cal State San Bernardino, and then while I was there, I started my plan. Through the Inland Empire Business Women's Center, I started my plan. It was very challenging because I was going to school, and then I would run to the Inland Empire Business Women's Center through classes back and forth, but I needed this. It was a 13 weeks plan, and it was a challenging, very, very, very challenging program. But at the end of the day, it came in perfect because now I have this roadmap. It has been, I'm approaching my 4th year owning Two Organic Salon and Spa. When I had 2 studio hair designs, I didn't have a plan. I didn't have an accountant. I didn't have the sense to run a business. I didn't know what the rules and regulations were for the state, because I remember when State Board came into my salon, by the time they left, I had $1,000 in fines because I had no business being in a business without knowing exactly what the industry standards were. So now I have this. I know what the industry standards are. I know how to run a business, how to hire an employee. I have an accountant, thank God. It took me 2.5 years before I finally actually got an accountant. That's because I don't trust anyone handling my books. But Joe, you happen to be a lucky guy. Anyway, so I now have an accountant. I'm now planning on opening an academy that will help students that are just getting their license to have a place where to come and encourage them, for them to build their self-confidence and motivate them to become better stylists before they could actually go out and get their first job. They could stay here if they want, or they could go and get their job, or at least they have an option where to come to get rid of all that anxiety. So with this roadmap that I have, it's a business plan, but I call it a roadmap because it is a roadmap. I can now add my my goals, my vision for the academy to this, to make it one. I will have the salon portion and the academy portion, and I know where I'm going. It is very critical to have this. Some people get into the salon. Any of us can go and find a store, put our name on it, put furnishings in it, put an open sign and say we're in business. It works out for them, and some of them it doesn't. For me, I need this. It has been my saving grace. When I had to studio hair design, a year and a half it crumbled. Because I've had this, I am approaching my 4th year, and there's no way of me stopping. I don't see myself stopping. I think the only way I'm gonna stop is if he takes me to join him. But other than that, you need a solid foundation. You need a ground, a rock solid ground to build your vision on top. I can go on and on about this, but it has been a blessing in my life. If you want to know how to write a business plan, the Inland Empire Women Business Center is available to anyone who does not have huge income, because I didn't. I was on welfare. I was on welfare for most of my life, or at least when I started having children. I just got out of welfare a year and a half ago. Even though I had a business, I was still receiving food stamp. So I just now, they took me off of welfare when I started working for RCC, and I was making enough income with RCC and here. They took me off of welfare, which, you know, it's a blessing because it has brought me, it helped me out when I needed it, and now it will help other people out. But what I'm saying is that there are resources available for people that don't have a lot of funding. This plan made me not to go into a huge debt. I took just enough to buy my business. I'm almost done. I am $1,700 away from paying my business loan, which is a blessing. In January, I wanted to take out another loan, and thank God I had an accountant who told me there is no way you're taking out another loan. You know, he really put his foot down and was like, no. And at the time, I kind of disliked him for that. But now, with this disaster that just happened, I'm glad he was around to talk me out of it. So now I am sitting here stressless, but grateful. Not stressless in a way that I don't have a huge amount of debt on my head, and looking forward to what's coming after the COVID-19 is over. But with all that, I am glad I had this. I can start tweaking this now to work for Two Organics Academy. You have resources available to you. There's the SBA available to you. Small Business Women Center available to you. If you want to get a degree in business, the entrepreneurship program at Cal State San Bernardino is available to you. If you are a stylist that's just getting a license and you have no idea where to start, or you want to build your confidence and you want encouragement, I am available to you. Two Organics Academy is available to you. Guys, there's a lot of resources available. If you have any questions, leave comments, questions for me at the end of this video on my YouTube channel. And if you don't have a YouTube channel and you are an entrepreneur, it's time for you to get one. Connect with me and I'll connect with you. And we will build the YouTube community together. subscribe to my YouTube channel, because there's going to be a whole lot of stories and a whole lot of real life stories that I'm going to be sharing with you guys. The book is going to come, but it's going to come later on down the line. And trust me, you will want to get a copy of my book when I write it. Boy, oh boy. Anyway, it has been a blessing. I will be coming back here in a couple of days with a new video about how I'm gonna get the salon back to normal after the COVID-19, and see how that's gonna work out for me. I know either way it's gonna work out, but if you're looking into doing that venture capital or taking control of your own destiny and making life better for you and your children and your family, and trying to build a sustainable lifestyle for yourself and your family, you need a plan. Take advantage of it. It will not destroy you. It will make you better. And I leave this with you guys. Have a blessed day. Thank you.